For nothing! You're gonna blow the whole thing.
Yo, Trouble T. Roy. Hit Don't Get Hit Boxing Talk. Be back with another one. Just came off a big fight week. First of all, want to give a big shout out and a round of applause to the great Saul Canelo Alvarez. Everybody clap it up. Yes, sir, he's done another one. Clap it up. All right, that's cool. Now, Canelo versus Jermell, little bro, Charlo. A lot of people very disappointed. I can't be mad. I was pretty disappointed. Very lackluster performance by Jermell Charlo. And Canelo just doing what he does. Just walk him down all night. If that boy don't want to fight, just walk him down all night. Can't knock out something that's running. My issue with Jermell in this fight is that, the issue started before the fight. It was a big thing. Jermell Charlo's whole energy just changed. Damn near every fight that he had before Canelo, that boy's mouth runs. You know? Now all of a sudden, man can barely talk. I don't think I've ever seen Jermell smile so much within a short amount of time. Just smiling ear to ear. You know, it's good to be happy about having the biggest fight of your life, but that don't mean you're supposed to be a lion, right? The lion's still supposed to be there, right? That lion's supposed to still show up, right? Where'd the lion go? All these years screaming lions only, right? Yeah, the lion didn't show up for this fight. Didn't even show up for the press conferences. He was talking all that shit before the fight was even made, before Canelo called you and said, let's make this fight, before it was even a thing. Talk about you gonna teach Canelo, you could teach Canelo a boxing lesson, right? Talk about if my brother Jamal can't do it, I'll do it. You know, is that what you said? Some things like that, right? You don't want to fight Jamal, fight me. All that shit. Been talking shit since 2000 teens, back at 154. Both of y'all been calling them out since y'all was back at 154. You still at 154, but you know what I mean, for years. And you finally get this opportunity. Boy finally gets this opportunity, and this is what we get. It's the only thing about the sport of boxing, man. Especially today. Unfortunately, it's like the money will change you. You know? And my thing is, a lot of people are upset with Canelo for making this fight and for the fight turning out to be what, the activity of the fight turning out to be what it was. And it's like, that's not even that's not his fault. I give props to Canelo. I give props for making the fight. This was undisputed versus undisputed, right? I'm giving him the props. I'm giving him his flowers. I'm giving him the respect, because at the end of the day, undisputed versus undisputed, these are two guys who made it to the top of their divisions, who collected all the gold, collected everything that mattered to be at the top of their own division, right? A lot of people are using the size situation. Oh yeah, well, Jermell, he's coming up in weight. It's like, yeah, he did come up in weight. And guess what? He signed a contract to come up in weight. He made the agreement to come up in weight. He said he's going to perform. This means, you talk about undisputed versus undisputed. This means you perform at your best. The way you perform to collect all that gold, all them belts at your own division, you bring that performance to your next opponent, which is another undisputed opponent, another undisputed champion. You don't do all that work just to go up and fight somebody else and look like you ain't never fought a real boxing match in your life. I ain't never seen Jermell Charlo use them ropes so much. Shuffling from side to side, taking laps around the ring from turnbuckle to turnbuckle. I ain't never seen Jermell fight like that. You can't say that either. Ain't nobody ever seen Jermell Charlo fight like that. I mean, no burst in anything. No combinations, no real combination. You throw a combination once every blue moon and land a couple of punches here and there. And then you back on your back feet. Backpedaling. Bouncing around from side to side in survival mode. Literally from round one. You caught one tough shot, I believe, to the shoulder that Canelo gave you early first or second round, and then you switched off right from that point. I mean, damn. I mean, you clearly just showed up to collect your paycheck. It's like when you're leaving the job and you know you're leaving the job, and then you're like, oh, well, shoot, I know they ain't gonna send me my money direct deposit because it's the middle of the week, so let me just go ahead and go collect my paycheck from, you know, HR so I could go grab that, cash it, and I'm good to go. On to the next, right? That's the kind of attitude he had. Let me go collect that paycheck so I could get on to the next, because the first thing he did after that last bell ring and they called it unanimous decision for Canelo, first thing you do is say, well, at least I didn't get knocked out like the other guys, and I want Crawford next. Man, if you don't get that soft energy out of here, now I'll say, oh, you big and bad again now after the fight. You big and bad now you want Crawford. All this time you telling Crawford, leave me alone. Go fight Spence. Go do this. Get your rematches. Now I'll say, yeah, I want Crawford next. You got your nerve to perform like that and got the nerve to call somebody out. Who calls somebody out after a performance like that? I mean, you like, I know I lost, but hey, I'm moving on. Y'all should move on too. That's basically the attitude you had. I'm moving on. Y'all should move on too. Man, that shit was trash, bro. It was trash. I could give you respect if you showed up to fight, but you didn't show up to fight. I could give you respect if you got out there and put your all in it and ended up getting knocked out. Guess what I would say? Well, that man got in there, put his all in it, but he got knocked out. And I don't care. Some people don't like what I said, but and a lot of people been saying it though. At least Earl Spence showed up and fought. Knew he was getting his ass beat, but kept on fighting. Cause that's the dog in him right there. Like, I mean, I'm here to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's the respect I could give Earl. Can't give you that respect, Charlo. That shit was embarrassing as far as I'm concerned. I hope you feel embarrassed. You know? But like I said on Twitter, honestly, I believe, me personally, and y'all could tell me what y'all think, but honestly, I believe Jermell Charlo witnessing what happened to Earl Spence got to his head. I know that was tough seeing your quote unquote brother, your other brother in the ring getting beat like that. I can only imagine if it was Jermell Charlo getting the beating that Earl Spence got from Crawford, but either way, that's your close friend. I mean, yeah, I could see Jermell sitting there watching that fight like, dang, I can't go out like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't go out like my bro Earl Spence did. That hurt. I mean, I could see that hurting his feelings inside watching this bro get beat like that. Probably ain't never seen nothing like that in his life happen right in front of him. So that's what I think, me personally. I think that's one that I think he realized this is Canelo and things could get really bad if I try. I throw the wrong shot and that man, the Canelo counters, it could be a wrap for me from that point on. I think that's what he thought. I think mentally, actually I know mentally he was already broken weeks before the fight. You could tell. He never had any kind of fire in his eyes. I stopped watching the All Access. I didn't even watch whatever the last one or the last couple after I seen the first one. I'm like, this dude ain't got no fire. I don't believe nothing. It looked like he's just training just to train. You know? Derrick James, once again, I mean, too bad for him. He ain't having a good year. It looked like just like with Earl Spence, no game plan. Just show up and do what you do, and hopefully it works. You know? So, I mean, it is what it is. Fight's over, you know? But, yeah, I give Canelo his props, give him his flowers, give him his respect, because at the end of the day, one fighter showed up. And the other one was just there. You know? Unfortunately, Canelo has to go through things like this. Being one of the greatest to be in the ring comes with these kind of, you know, backlashes where if your opponent doesn't show up and perform, you get a lot of blame. You know, everybody, oh, well, of course he wasn't going to perform like that. You know, he was smaller than him. It's like, all that don't matter. That shouldn't matter. Jermell signed the contract to fight. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, Jermell should be however much Jermell made by the end of that night, however much he made, he should be breaking off a piece of that and giving it back to Canelo for not showing up to fight. As far as I'm concerned, that should be a new rule. You don't show up to fight, you're going to break off a little something. You know, but that could be very controversial in itself because, you know, that's on everything. But you know what I mean, man. So, yeah, I guess we're just moving on from this one. Shout out to Canelo for doing this thing. Let's see what happens next. You know? Sure, I guess, what does he do next? Does he go and, me personally, would like to see him go for Benavidez so we could shut this whole Benavidez talk down. Me personally, because I don't think Benavidez beats Canelo. I think Benavidez will be the one to get knocked out because I do feel like he's going to show up to fight. And I do feel like Benavidez is not that great of a fighter. That's just me. You could agree, you could disagree. I don't care. Really don't give a fuck. I think Canelo's going to possibly knock Benavidez out because Benavidez ain't going to be on his back feet. He ain't going to be backing up all day. He can't. He ain't even got no footwork like that. He ain't got legs like that. He ain't got no choice but to get in front of Canelo and let Canelo break him down till there ain't nothing left. You know? I mean, really, depending on how this Benavidez Boo Boo Andre fight go, or should I say Doo Andre, depending on how that fight goes, if Benavidez beats Andre easily, you know, which I don't know if it's going to be that easily, but if you can do that, then go ahead and make the Canelo fight right away. If you can't beat him with ease, then that's going to be another issue because I don't know how good enough, even if Benavidez beats Andre, if he doesn't do it like with ease, does that make a good fight for Canelo versus Benavidez? Because Canelo just had a tune-up. If you don't have a tune-up with Andre, you know, it's like, do you make that fight right away? Because as far as I'm concerned, Canelo's clock is ticking. You know what I'm saying? He could skip over to Jermell, but then Jermell ain't fought in over 2 years. So that's some bullshit. That fight's made. You know, he could go for Crawford, which I really don't care to see or I'm not asking for that fight, just like I didn't ask for Charlo. But right now, Crawford's the one that's been putting in the work. 2-time undisputed. You know? Yeah, once again, oh, well, he's smaller, he's coming up with, oh, well. They did it a lot back in the days when we was growing up and before we was born. Who's to say that Crawford ain't go there to be great, and Canelo might see something in Crawford that might be more of a challenge than what we just saw. I think Crawford will at least give Canelo more of a challenge, me personally, but that's just a whole nother thing right there. So, end of the day. At the end of the day. You know, we'll see what happens at this point, but very disappointed with Jermell Charlo. I mean, and he's always one of my favorite fighters to watch because I like to see him bring that dog into the ring. Whether win or lose, he was that guy. I was like, okay, he's at least gonna give us a fight. He ain't the best of fighters, but he does show up to fight every time, and this was very disappointing, you know. So yeah, man. Anyways, I ain't gonna run this shit too long. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, all that good shit. This your boy Trouble T Roy. Hit, don't get hit, boxing talk. All right, y'all. Peace.
Deals. Gotta have legal defense, the flow kills. The guilty bystander proceeds with no guilt. All things forward, the movement got no chill. You dislike, no love lost, no spill. You heard it here from that foolie from Go Ill. Was such a dope sounder to have you on tilt. Backhanded beats for your automobile. Like this, I mean like so. You mean like Black Rob spoke like whoa. Like that, I believe we broke through it. New shit that rewrites hope.